Did you see what's going on? Obviously, you've seen what's going on in California. But the governor gave this creepy fucking speech where he was talking about speculators coming in and talking about what to do with the land of all these homes that have been burnt down while it's still only 6% contained. And he did this little dance like, I've been talking with these, with the governor of Hawaii about what to do. We got some ideas. A speculator, we're going to have some meetings. Like, he's
really?
Oh,
California Governor Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors. On Monday, he urged cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
It started with a proud smile, but ended in total disaster. In the middle of all the chaos, Gavin Newsom forgot which camera to panic into. And yes, everyone saw it happen. Joe Rogan came crashing in like a wrecking ball, throwing facts like heavy weights. Then Greg Gutfeld joined right after, dropping jokes sharper than California's taxes. What happened next wasn't just a debate. It was a slow, loud explosion that wiped everything out. Not even Gavin's thick layer of hair gel could survive the mess. Grab your popcorn, because this wasn't just a fight, it was a full-on live meltdown.
Nobody wants President Newsom either. Nobody believes in that guy. That guy's a fucking con man. Everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids, being caught public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah.
Nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician. Nobody thinks he's a real human. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and that's a human being. With Newsom, you got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want President.
The camera cuts to Gavin Newsom. It zooms in close, like his shiny hair is about to make a deal with an expensive bottle of conditioner. He stands at the podium, glowing with confidence, acting like the world spins just to hear him talk. But then, BM. Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld strike like thunder covered in sarcasm. Once they set their sights on California's golden boy, it stopped being a calm talk. It turned into a TV car crash, a shiny one in $1,000 suits. Not a debate, but a wrecking ball smashing right through Gavin's fake political mask.
But Kennedy, I think the answer is yes, 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 yes.
Is it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that list.
Now let's talk about Gavin. The man walks into every room like it's a fashion show called Big Government, the collection. He's nailed the politician's holy trinity: the bright toothpaste smile, the fancy talk like a TED speaker, and a leadership style that freezes up like a slow-loading video. He's the golden boy of progressive politics, charming, smooth, always ready with climate slogans, maybe even carrying a wallet made of recycled trophies. But when you take away the shine, what's left? Just glitter, ego, and a whole lot of acting instead of action.
Their houses have been burned, all their childhood memorabilia, all their stuff for their kids, the photos, the fucking everything they have is gone. Man, the heirlooms, their mother's wedding ring, that kind of shit. Everything's burnt to the ground. And this guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use,
the development plan.
And don't even get started on his green energy speeches. Gavin has enough promises about saving the planet to fill a whole grocery store aisle at Whole Foods. But then the power goes out in California the moment the wind blows too hard. Go electric, they say, then warn everyone not to charge their cars between 4 and 9 p.m. because, oops, the sun went home early. It's peak comedy, banning gas stoves while half the state cooks dinner by flashlight. This isn't leadership. It's climate theater. a sad comedy where everyone pretends the light's going out is progress.
And he's the guy who thinks he's going to run for president when, so much of the state is absolutely unlivable. And so every project that he's championed, he's now trying to demonize conveniently. And people are not that dumb. Like, people have been through it in his state. They are sick of him. They want him to leave. Maybe that's why so many people around him are like, you should totally run for president. So he gets out of the state.
Yeah. Move away. Cyrus, did he leave out anything?
Even Joe Rogan had enough. He didn't just move away, he escaped. Like a man who saw the glitch in the Matrix and ran for the exit. And really, who can blame him? California started to look more like a video game about survival than paradise. So Rogan hit the gas, drove straight down the highway, and never looked back. He traded smog for Texas skies and scripts for freedom. It was like a UFC champ swapping kale smoothies for steak. And he didn't leave quietly. He took the biggest microphone on earth with him. The Joe Rogan Experience. That show isn't just a podcast. It's a monster. Over 100 million listeners and enough reach to make news channels nervous. Rogan's secret weapon? No filters. Just truth. And nothing fired him up faster than Gavin's lockdown rules. While Gavin was sipping fancy wine like the world was ending, Rogan called out the hypocrisy so hard the French Laundry restaurant almost shut down in shame.
Down in Hawaii, you had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
A big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to John. Look at this. Look at this little wiggle. He's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying, we're move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes. A lot of those people don't even have fire insurance because the fire insurance pulled out of California. I think 69% of fire insurance pulled out of California because they're like, this is too crazy. You guys aren't doing jack shit to manage this. You're not clearing the brush.
But Rogan didn't come alone. He brought a whole team, doctors, experts, and comedians armed with sarcasm. Together, they showed how crazy California's rules had become. Small businesses were destroyed, while giant corporations danced through the chaos untouched. Health rules felt like they were written by a magic 8-ball. Random, confusing, and always at the worst time. And there was Gavin, flashing that perfect white smile like everything was fine, thinking a little hair gel could fix broken trust. Then came the big move, the tech companies leaving California. The new Oregon Trail, but with Teslas instead of wagons. Rogan didn't just talk about freedom. He proved it by leaving. He took his podcast to Austin, Texas, where the lights actually stayed on. California had turned against innovation and freedom, and Rogan's biggest argument wasn't numbers or charts. It was his own life story.
So, while Californians have lost their homes and they're still suffering from the devastation, what does Gavin Newsom decide to do? Well, now is apparently perfect time to try and boost his popularity and essentially promote himself. He's launched podcast. I'll play you the trailer in just a moment, but take notice. Does the trailer that he shared with the world on X, does it even mention the most horrific fire catastrophe that occurred under his leadership, partly as a result of the decisions he was making, like cutting fire prevention? No, this is his chance to talk about his image, insisting that
He didn't need to yell or act wild. He just spoke calmly and said what everyone already knew. This isn't working. And then Greg Gutfeld showed up like a raccoon on a mission, armed with humor and sarcasm sharp enough to slice through glass. Gutfeld doesn't scream. He sneaks up and delivers every joke like a jab. Slick hair, perfect timing, and words that sting. He looked at Gavin's glowing face and said what millions were thinking. He looks like a cologne ad, but runs the state like he's blindfolded playing SimCity. Then Gutfeld ripped the curtain down. Behind Gavin's smile were homeless camps, boarded up shops, and fancy juice bars barely surviving. It was chaos with a yoga mat. Yet Gavin still smiled like he solved homelessness using candles and motivational quotes.
About anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
But Gutfeld didn't stop there. He went straight for the biggest joke, the media's crush on Gavin. News outlets treat him like JFK reborn, only with shinier teeth and a tote bag. But behind all that shine is pure chaos. Gutfeld's jokes weren't just funny, they were deadly accurate. He shredded all the headlines praising Gavin's leadership, while regular people were struggling to pay rent, gas, and grocery bills. Families could barely buy milk, but magazines kept calling Gavin a visionary. Then came the best part. Gutfeld roasted his climate plans. He shot through buzzwords like carbon equity and solar dreams. It all sounds nice until you ask, who's paying for it? While normal folks sit in the dark, government workers drive around in hybrids like they're in a sci-fi movie. Most of the charging stations don't even exist. Gutfeld didn't just expose it, he ripped it apart. This wasn't saving the planet, it was making fake photo ops.
When Gavin Newsom talks about California, he's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. Hey, they're all moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. It's too expensive to leave versus all the bullshit with all the permits and all that. It's too expensive. Believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective. And that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct, this cardboard cutout of a person. I don't think people want that, but they might want it more than they want president.
Then came the knockout. Gavin's White House dreams. People whisper that he's running for president in 2028, like a yoga retreat full of hope and incense. But Gutfeld wasn't buying it for a second. He roasted the idea that a man who can't manage one state could lead an entire country. He's running all right, Gutfeld said, but it's away from responsibility, not for president. The jokes wrote themselves. Gavin's presidential dream was like opening a restaurant that failed every health inspection. The sign looks pretty, but the kitchen's a disaster. Gutfeld's punchlines were so brutally true that even Gavin's PR team had nothing to say. And then came the team-up nobody expected. Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld, side by side, tearing down the myth of Gavin Newsom. Rogan brought the facts. Gutfeld brought the fire. Together, they showed the world that Gavin's leadership doesn't just fail, it completely misses the target.
Runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls.
Rogan didn't yell or throw a fit. He just spoke calmly. And somehow, that hit even harder. People are leaving. Businesses are closing. Homelessness is exploding. I moved for a reason, he said. That voice landed like a quiet hammer. Rogan wasn't trying to entertain. He was being real. And that's why it hurt. Then Gutfeld jumped back in with the same accuracy, just a different style. Rogan used logic. Gutfeld used jokes. He read the government's excuses like a bad script from a terrible play. Every line was dripping with disbelief. Rogan spoke to the thinkers, the ones who wanted proof. Gutfeld spoke to the skeptics, the people who stopped trusting TV news. Rogan's fans shared clips and facts. Gutfeld's fans just pointed at the chaos and said, "See, that's the proof."
California Governor Gavin Newsom has been facing major calls to resign over his appalling handling of the deadly California wildfires. And just to quickly recap, these were the most destructive wildfires the state has ever seen. More than 16,000 properties were destroyed. The cost of the fires is estimated to be more than $200 billion. And for businesses in LA County, the future is looking grim. It's projected businesses will continue to lose billions of dollars over the next 5 years due to...
No matter how different their styles were, Rogan with calm truth and Gutfeld with fiery sarcasm, both hit the same point. Gavin Newsom isn't leading, he's performing. And the reviews? 2 big thumbs down. This wasn't just failure, it was shiny, glitter-covered failure. He's like a movie trailer that promises greatness, but gives you 90 minutes of boring speeches and empty promises. Rogan and Gutfeld didn't fall for it. They came from different worlds. But they saw the same fake show and ripped it apart. Gavin became the symbol of style over substance, all talk, no results. And when they tore off his fake mask, it stopped being political talk. It became a full-on intervention. One brought a wrench, the other a chainsaw. And together they showed everyone the truth hiding underneath the shine.
You know, when I went there, I had a great relationship with prisoners. She was getting, and they treated me better than anybody's ever been treated. And I said, this here is good. Do you know they closed every factory 1 week before I got there from within 200 miles?
That's like what Gavin Newsom did when Xi Jinping came to San Francisco. He cleaned it up. He got rid of all the homeless
terrible
people.
in a way. To think, you know, he cleaned it up and then it became a pigsty.
Well, the dumbest thing is he said when your friends come by, when you have visitors, you clean up your house. Like, how about just keep your fucking house clean?
Can you imagine?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I keep bringing up Gavin. Well, other than my respect for his work in American Psycho, he's starting to distance himself from his party's worst ideas. Newsom, a guy who hates fossil fuels but could still bring down the price of gas by wringing out his hair, once proclaimed that his state would be a sanctuary to all who seek it.
And suddenly, everyone started agreeing. People from all sides. Libertarians, conservatives, tired millennials, hipsters, even baristas who swore off politics. They all nodded. Different lives, same reaction. They realized the real problem wasn't just Gavin's leadership. It was all the fake theater around it. And just when it couldn't get any crazier, boom, the final montage hit like a movie ending. It wasn't about who won. It was about what got revealed. Gavin didn't just get criticized. He got exposed. The curtain fell, and all that was left were filters, flash, and fake ideas. Rogan might even make a full podcast called California Collapse, Part 2. Gutfeld could turn it into a comedy skit called Gavin's Glamour Tour, Homelessness Edition. But Gavin? He won't change. He'll probably post a picture next to a wind turbine with the caption, "Leading with Vision." Because for him, it was never about fixing things. It was always about the show.